Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to the farm. Today is day one of pasture for our broiler chicks. As the weather gets warmer, we are officially leaning into spring for our livestock, doing a lot of moving around of all the animals, and these guys here were ready to make it out to pasture. As the weeks go on from here all the way through fall, we will be adding and subtracting birds to the pasture. These guys have about another 4 weeks, maybe 5 at most, here on pasture before they are ready for processing. These are Cornish cross. That's what we raise for our meat chicks. We get a 4 to 6 pound bird in only 8 weeks time. So we are nearing time where we will have fresh chicken available for our customers on a weekly basis coming up very, very soon. Joining us today, as always, is our chief visionary and favorite farmer.
Did you see this coming?
Dragon. Did I see this coming? My vision is crystal clear today.
Oh, okay. You must have your glasses on.
Actually, my contacts, but they're the ones with the bifocals built in. How are you doing today, Dragon?
Good. A lot done already. We moved the sheep this morning. They're back here. Yeah, slowly, just like Kevin mentioned, with the warmer weather, they don't need the sheep shed anymore unless we get some crazy rainstorm. We'll bring them back to the shed, but they can stay on the pasture 24 hours now. They were here last, right?
Correct.
Yeah. We're here last, so there's quite a bit of sheep poop here. We mentioned this before. We're looking to, that's our least fertile part of the property of our land that we have, that corner there. We would like to get our meat birds down that fence line. That's our neighbor's fence line there, and get some manure onto that ground. But it's not worth for us just getting a single one once we get all five tractors. So we do 5, right?
Yes.
Five tractors down. So we're starting with this one here. We slowly, as we add in the next 5 weeks, by the time we reach 5 weeks, we'll reach that corner and then turn everybody straight down. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's great to look at the water. You guys remember this past summer we built the shed and added the water hydrant here. Amazing water pressure here. So that's good. And we moved the chickens as well last night to this paddock. So this is going to be a paddock for next probably month and a half, 2 months. It is 4 fences. It's 160 feet by 160 feet. I believe it was a half an acre that I calculated that before. But they're nice burn there. They have shade in the back. Bruno is there. We trying the off leash. So he's the only one. Well, we tries to, but Chaz doesn't live in the fence. that doesn't jump the fence, and he hasn't copied from his parents yet, so hopefully he stays that way. Excited to get the meat chick season going and get the things going on the farm. So looks like it's everybody's pretty good. Jim said 33. Right?
33, yep.
33 made it out of 35.
Or I think we're gonna have 36 in this batch. But either way, that's good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we have the plastic the way we build our tractors. They're 8x8. We used to do no tarp on this lid, but we noticed during the hot summers they all hide underneath this metal for the shade, so it doesn't really serve any purpose to having it because they kind of avoid it most of the time when they live there. So we decided to add a plastic there or a tarp there. But what we also do with our chicken tractors is this back here. We also have the plastic that we can roll on and roll down or roll up depending on how hot it is. So on the cooler nights when we get the chickens early, like this, early April, get them out. Oh, it's March actually. So yeah, it's March 30th. Late March. In case we get some freezing temperatures, we can drop the plastic down and they'll be fine there. So
Also useful when rain comes as well.
bucket is dripping. So that's not bad.
New bucket here. The dragon just put a hole in today, so we'll have to monitor this and see if it holds water, if we need to swap it out. Looks like the answer might be no. So we'll likely be bringing these guys a new bucket to connect their holes to. Dragon was mentioning the water pressure that we have out here since we added that hydrant, and it's nice to see. Even last night when we were filling the water troughs for the egg layers right over here, it was amazing to see how fast everything was filling up instead of usually having to get the waters going when we will come out when the chickens are in this patch to start filling up the water troughs, and sometimes still have to wait after you've dropped feed, collected eggs, and done what you needed to do. The water still had not quite made its way to fill up all of the water troughs for the chickens, but we don't have that problem anymore, cutting down our time that we're out here, which is always something very useful. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to a day of
Planting.
planting, digging. Dragon, Neil, and Matthew have been working in the beautiful Virginia sunshine today. Started down in the orchard, replacing some trees that we needed replaced.
Have a knife, cut it.
Out here,
Just cut it.
they've been digging some other holes. What have you planted out here?
So, cornelian cherry, we have 5 of them here on this side. This is our drain ditch that drains into the canal that's under between the 301 north and southbound. Willows planted down on the bottom along the fence line, all the way from the gate to the neighbor's house. There is, I think, 8 of them. Weeping willows. We planted a linden tree last year. Yeah, last year.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming back. And then we added, like I said, cornelian cherry. That's one of the cherry trees from Mediterranean. Produces sour cherries that you make jam or syrup out of. And the rest of the field we did walnuts that I was finally able to find. But we recently seen a video on how to plant when you have saplings that are a very small root like these. So what do? You bury it, step on a shovel, bury it all the way down, go across, bury it down, and then go behind where your previous shovel ended, again deep, and you pull the shovel back, it opens the earth, and you just step on it, and you have almost no mess planting method. That's how we planted all of these.
Wow.
So it's a lot easier than digging holes like we did in the orchard for the other trees with big roots.
Is that true, Neil? Was it easier?
Much easier.
Okay.
It's nice that he did that after Matthew and I dug holes.
No, there's no way of
Verification.
doing it like that.
All right.
You want these back?
Well,
You gotta leave them somewhere that we know where.
how big are these cornelian cherries going to get?
They're a large shrub. They go probably about 10 feet by 10 feet. They grow like a large shrub. They're usually a single stalk, maybe it can be a multi-stalk on the bottom, but it's mostly a shrub, large shrub, about 10 feet tall.
How many total did you plant?
5.
Okay.
They
And-
bloom as early same as the forsythias. They have very similar blooms, bright yellow blooms. So probably in the spring it's going to be hard to tell the difference between Kevin's forsythia here and Dragon's cornelian cherry. So there you have it.
Kevin always knows what his stuff
He
is.
doesn't know.
And then on the back, how many?
Oh, I don't know. You can count it. This is the one.
15.
15.
About. I need more than about.
15 what now? What is it?
English walnut.
English walnuts. And how tall are they going to get?
Oh, they get massive. They get probably about 50 feet wide and 80 feet tall. And they take 20 years to mature, so 8 to 10 to start producing. So
Change of the landscape. One
so
no
planting
dig
all
at a
these
time.
large trees because right now we had to put the sheep in because the 85 degrees, it's quite hot. There's no shade. We have a big pasture, but no shade. So on the hot days, we have to put the sheep back in the shed, or we usually have them along the tree line to give them some shade. But down here, it's kind of hard. There's literally nothing around us. So we're trying to get these. I know it's going to take a few years to get some shade, but this one in a couple of years will produce some shade. So there you have it.
continuing to knock down things on the list of things that are needed to be done is getting some of our produce planted into the ground. Earlier today, while they were still here, Neil and Matthew helped Dragon put down the weed barrier fabric. Then they went through and burned holes just where the plants were going to be dropped. We have some zucchini, some squash, and some tomatoes that are planted here. Irrigation was put down yesterday. Dragon and I did that. I don't think we talked about it. And we also put up some hardware cloth, which you might have seen might have been hard to see with the camera a little bit farther away. But this will help to prevent birds, the guineas, any pests from coming inside of the greenhouse when we have the sides rolled up. So we'll be able to safely have the sides lifted, have the front and the back door closed, and then prevent anything from coming in here and destroying any of the plants that are growing in the ground. The right side of the greenhouse is still just rocking along, completely filled with all of the things that have been potted up here over the past few weeks. And we are looking forward to a beautiful weekend where we're able to get a lot of this stuff, or at least some of the stuff, over on the right out. We've already started putting some of it out, and we'll be getting more and more of that out because we're going to need that side here very soon as well to do some planting. Dragon is wheeling stuff in. It may or may not rain tonight. Rain chances, he said, continue to disappear. Dragon, more things checked off your list?
Big day today, really big day. Huge shout out to Matt and Neil. We got all of our trees planted. Orchard, everything in the orchard that was still missing, and additions that we added. And then Cornelius cherry and walnuts that we talked about earlier, but huge accomplishment. And in the greenhouse, we also got 75% of the in-ground stuff planted. We only missing the last row that is along the edge there. That's going to be cucumbers, but we're going to build a trellis because we're using cattle panels to build a trellis for them. So we're going to build a trellis for them first and plant them. So, but that's hopefully tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Everything goes well. So I'm tired, big day today, but I'm happy to be done with all of this. So
all right, we'll check in tomorrow and see how
I'll be here.
Progress is progressing. Happy Thursday, everybody. We have gone from doing some work inside of our own greenhouse today to being invited to Bloomia, which is a local business here in King George that specializes in tulips, growing tulips year round. We just toured their greenhouses and their indoor facility. We are now out at their tulip field here, and as you can see, it's just quite breathtaking and indescribable to be out here amongst all this gorgeous color. Um, Very, very inspiring to see all of this. They have a tulip festival that is planned later this month. I think it might actually be the same weekend as our Farm Fest, which, by the way, is April 18 and 19. So mark your calendars for that. Come on down and join us. But if you are in the area, you can do double duty and come down to Bloomia for their Tulip Fest and then head on just 10 minutes or so away to Gardening Gaze Farm for our Farm Fest. But aren't these just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous? They smell very beautiful also too. There's a house off in the distance, and just can't imagine being able to live next door to such beauty right here in your own community. This is definitely a wonderful little tucked away gem in King George County. One of the things we love about where we live is being able to uncover, discover, and explore lots of gorgeous, beautiful places just like this. Happy Friday, everybody. It is Good Friday, and we have decided to put our bottle babies out on pasture with all of the other yearlings. They are trying to figure out what to do because, of course, they have not been outside on grass since they were born. Chocolate is actually their sister. They have the same mom. So she was the first one to come up and investigate. The fence is hot, so as they touch it, you see what happens. And they get a little shock, so they will quickly learn that they don't want to do that. Might take a couple of tries, but at least we know that the fence is doing what it's supposed to do, which is containing this crew and also keeping anything else out that shouldn't be in there. They'll take a little time to get acclimated to each other here, and we're sure they'll be hopping around. We'll still come out and do some bottle feeding with them in the meantime, but being out in the sunshine, getting some grass, and hanging out with the rest of the crew, we're sure will be very good for them. Happy Friday, Dragon.
How you doing, Kevin?
Wonderful.
All right.
Chocolate, your sisters are here. You're going to take good care of them? I know. You're going to be a good big sister for them. What's going on today?
We are about to go down to 4 feedings a day, but we want to introduce them to the grass slowly, so they're going to join their siblings. Going to be loud for a couple of days like this, but they'll get used to it. Fresh air and sunshine. So, but yeah. A little skittish from the other ones. They've never been around other sheep ever since we removed them from their mama. I don't know how old are they now? Almost a month.
Yeah.
But don't touch the fence.
I think they were born the first Saturday in March.
It's okay. It's okay.
Here at the base of the orchard is another project that Dragon mentioned a week or two ago. And just for your vantage point, here we are right here. Duck coop is right over there. Orchard and the barns are over to the right. Our bees are located right over there in the middle of your screen along the tree line. And the creek is at the bottom of this hill in the woods. Dragon, let us know what's going on here.
So yeah, it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
I don't remember.
No, 2 weeks ago, because Wednesday was the first check. Put out the bee traps. So you take old frames that have beeswax on them, some bee balm spray. Is it bee balm? Lemon balm. Lemon balm, the one that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lemon balm scent. Spread some, shave some of the wax from the current hives. And a couple days ago, we actually put some honey in it too. Just sprayed it, watered down honey, sprayed it on the frames. And today we have some activity. So we're hoping to catch additional swarms of bees so we can expand our apiary. So this could be, it's still very small activity. This could be just bees collecting the honey that I sprayed in. Or it could be scouts So bees, when the hives split, they send out scouts for the good spot for their new houses. So this could be scouts that are exploring the potential spot. Well, could be hive already moved in. So this time of year, this early spring, that's when swarming happens with the bees. So they split. Typically, your old queen leaves with half of the hive, finds a new spot to start a new colony, and the new queen stays. The colony that was in the hive raises their own new queen. So we had put two of these, one here and one in a big orchard, a big pasture on the other side. Actually checked the other one, there was no activity whatsoever. But this is nice to see this much activity. So this could be the bees are already coming back. I didn't look close. The one way to see if it's actually they moved in, you can see the pollen on their back legs coming in. That's a good sign that they've moved in. So I can see the fighting. You can see that they're fighting. So it could be that they're still just taking the honey that I spread on the bottom of the floor. So we'll see. We'll come back in a couple of days and check it out.
Happy Sunday, everybody. We've made it to the end of the week and to another day inside the greenhouse, potting up some of our plants. Today, working on some pampas grass here. We also did some other grasses right before this. What were you going to say?
Let me see what he remembers the name of it.
Just other grasses at the moment. That's all we need to know for now. And just trying to get all of this stuff out of its starting plug trays into some more beneficial soil and watered in nicely, where it will sit until it's time for it to head out into the garden center space. Happy Sunday, Dragon.
Happy Sunday, Kevin.
How are you doing today?
Pretty good. Glad to get a little bit of rain. We're in the 80s for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
So it was too hot to be in a greenhouse. I mentioned it before when usually when sun is out, the difference between temperatures inside a greenhouse and outside, it's usually about 20 to 30 degrees, depending how hot it is. And the hotter it gets, that gap is bigger and bigger. Only one short.
One short, yes.
What did you do?
I meant to tell you.
What? Now my balance sheet is gonna suffer. What was I saying?
It's
Oh,
20 to
it was
30
hot,
degrees.
So, yeah, it was hot. So we couldn't really do much in the greenhouse. We had to water everything pretty much every day. I'd be glad to have some overcast. Fortunately, next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday night, we have a big temperature dip. So we're going back to 30s, low 30s overnight. So we're going to have to crank up the heat here since we planted. We can show them tomatoes and peppers and everything.
No, we've recorded. We haven't talked
Kevin,
about
come
it.
back to me once you show
Dragon,
people.
we'll talk about it. So while Dragon is mentioning, you can
Kevin is
see
going to show you everything. Then come back to me.
see how full everything still remains, even though we've been slowly taking some of the things out into the greenhouse as it has been warmer. Over the past week, we also prepped and planted here on this side some of our produce. We have squashes and zucchinis planted here. We have some peppers planted here. Tomatoes are here in this row, and we have cucumbers over here, where we have added some T-posts and cattle panels as a trellis so that as the cucumbers grow, they will use the cattle panel to climb on them. Affix these with our handy dandy zip ties, which are nice and easy to put up. They will last us for the time that we need them there. Of course, last week we talked about the other things that we added, like the hardwood cloth here on the exterior. We'll do the other side once we're able to get access to it with the pots moved on out into the garden center space later on. But getting the weed barrier fabric down to as well, and the irrigation, all of that took place earlier this week. So lots and lots going on in here, and we will need to repeat that process on this side once we get all of this stuff moving. In the meantime, you can see that things are starting to bloom here nicely. Strawberry plants are blooming and setting fruit on them. We have these out in the garden center. Somebody a little bit ago just came by and bought a full flat of strawberry plants, which we love to see. The parsley and the cilantro look like they need to have another shearing down while they're in here. They're getting a little too leggy and too tall. Over on this side, we have some calla lilies that are slowly starting, at least this one is starting to show a little bit of pop through right there. Most of the orange pots that you see are dahlias that we have planted. Dragon was checking on those this morning. We have a few pots that are starting to show a little bit of growth, and those dahlias are starting to poke through ever so slightly. like this one here and its neighbor right next to it. This guy back here. Dahlia tubers were put into these pots 1 week ago, so it's nice to see that as the weather is warming up, those are starting to wake up. The Beatrice right here is something we are expecting to be an unexpected showstopper this season for our customers. We've never sold Beatrice before. We have planted it in our landscape, so we are expecting big things from that as it starts to grow and show its color there. More dahlias right here in the front. We have lilies back here that are starting to push through nicely. Next to them, we have some different varieties of astilbe. Those are shade-loving plants. We have quite a few of those planted along a hedge in our front yard. Hollyhocks back here are doing nice. And Jacob's ladder next to them are nice and full. We have some of each of those out in the garden center right now. More lilies on this side. I think that were potted up a little bit sooner than the ones right over here, which you can see by their growth. Hostas, one of my favorites, are doing really well. Those are all coming up quite nicely here. We also have some cannas next to them that are popular here. They're doing well. Those fruit that we have, raspberries, blackberries, grapes over in that back corner are doing well. On this side, we have lavender that is doing nice as well too. And back here in the corner are just things that we have potted up yesterday and today and maybe a previous day before. Yarrow over here, all yellow yarrow. We have some of this that's already out in the garden center. And then some foxglove. We already have some of that placed out into the garden center as well. As much as you see here, we still have more stuff yet to be potted up. We have a table that's up here in the corner. Some things for making a few more of our planters like these guys, and maybe just potting up some other stuff for folks to be able to grab. But we also need to get some of our coleus potted up. We have some more polka dot plants over here as well that still need to be potted up. So never a moment to just say, okay, it's all done now. Including this wandering Jew down here also needs to go into pots. Making our way on around, getting it all done. And now that you have a lay of the land, where things are,
Show them everything outside.
what's been going on.
Outside, you gotta show them the outside.
Dragon is requesting an outside viewing now. So let's head on out into the light drizzle and see what we've added. As of yesterday, we have some lettuces planted right here on the side of the greenhouse. This was a perfect spot here to get some of these lettuces in the ground. Jess was here yesterday helping out, and she came through. Dragon started planting some of this a couple days ago, and then we had Jess come out. I think this might be either cabbage or broccoli over on this side as well too that we have here. Got all of this freshly tilled up after having some cover crop planted in this space, kind of from the greenhouse all the way down. You can see where that nice lush green space is right there. We planted cover crop over the winter to add some extra nutrients to this portion of the pasture. It has always struggled a little bit because there really hasn't been much planted here. We've tried to plant some things here a couple of seasons ago that struggled, but hopefully now with having the cover crop for the winter months, we've had, of course, sheep here. The chickens spent a bulk of the winter season here in this space too. All of that extra natural nutrients, adding it to the ground, should hopefully slowly start to make a difference and be a great growing medium for all of the produce. And now we will do our best to get Dragon to fill us in on the rest and close us out for the week. Dragon,
Show them everything.
we showed them everything. Of course, you won't know that until you see this. Is that cabbage or broccoli planted on the side of the lettuce? Broccoli. All right. Go a little bit closer here with the rain falling on the plastic overhead.
So that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
No, that's it. We had a good weekend. It was busy this weekend. Today's Easter. It was kind of full, but yesterday, Saturday, Friday was really, really busy. Great to see folks loving what we have to offer. Folks are asking for more, and like I said, I was trying to explain that we have another frosty nights, 3 frosty nights coming in, so we don't want to, sell something that you can't put outside. So we're not those kind of people. We warn our guests if there's a frost coming in and protect your plants. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's the last frost of the season and we'll be in the clear.
Yeah.
So then we can really take most of this stuff, well, not most, but a lot of stuff out, and some of the tropical stuff and perennial stuff will be really, really popping up. Looking forward to. Oh, we had a food truck.
Yes. First brunch at the farm yesterday.
First brunch at the farm. It was really successful. Nice. We have for next year booked up with the brunches for rest of the April. Need to work on May.
Every Saturday.
Farm Fest every Saturday. And then Farm Fest coming up in 2 weeks. So
April 18 and 19. If you're in the area and you
further
are
out, on the drive.
interested in being a vendor, please give us a call on the farm number. That is the only way to register as a vendor, is by calling the farm number and talking to Dragon or Kevin.
Kevin.
There
Don't
is
ask for
there
Kevin.
is no other way to register. We repeat,
Call Kevin.
there is no other way to
Ask for
register.
Kevin. But yeah, that's it. All right, let's finish up, everybody.
That's going to do it for us on this week's vlog. As always, we want to thank everybody for tuning in to check out what's been going on in this past week. Things are continuously ramping up, as you can see. Lots of other projects around the corner and on the way, and we will bring you along for as much of that as possible, as always. If you are out traveling, hope everybody is being safe. We know that spring break was in session here in King George County this past week. Kids are headed back to school later this week coming, and others are just getting ready to start their spring break. So we hope everybody has gotten some rest or has some rest and some fun planned with a few adventures in between. Dragon?
That's it. Just remember the frosty nights that are coming up for you that already planted some stuff in our area or anywhere probably north of us. Protect those plants from the frosty nights. We're almost out of that frost, so almost there.
All right. And if you happen to be traveling through Virginia, coming down US 301 and driving through King George County, make sure you stop right here and see us at the farm. Everybody stay safe out there, and we'll see you again real soon.
See you soon.